Shout out to G-Man Boxing. Where's the piss bottle? It's over there.
Alright, people. Conor Benn, Eubank Jr. Fight signed and sealed. It's done. October 8th, the O2 Arena in London. All I'll say is thank God I didn't book any accommodation in Manchester. I always preferred London anyway. No offence to any Manchester people who are subscribed. So here we go. Let's read this. Read it here. So Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn have announced they will renew their family feud at the O2 Arena in London on October 8th. So it says Ben, whose dad Nigel was a super middleweight champion when he fought Eubank Sr. in the 90s, would jump up two weight divisions for the super fight. The pair will meet at a catch weight of 156. 156 pounds is being reported here. This is from the Irish Mirror. Almost 29 years to the day since their fathers fought to a very lacklustre fight, it has to be said, draw at Old Trafford in Manchester. Eubank is still eyeing the winner of Canelo Golovkin or a rematch with Billy Joe Saunders, but takes a brief detour for his nostalgic super fight with Ben. Ben is a yada yada yada. What I mean by that is he's a rising welterweight. They're just talking about what they're doing. So that's really it now. It's going to be on Dazn pay-per-view. So, yeah, we're going to have to... I mean, Jesus, they aren't stopping with pay-per-views, aren't they? Now, just think of it like this, right? AJ Usyk pay-per-view. I'm not buying that, but I'm buying the AJ Usyk one, but the KSI one I won't. Then we've got Canelo Triple G. Someone else as well, don't we? Or do we? Yeah, Joyce Parker. And now Ben Eubank. Crazy. 5 pay-per-views. So let's get some quotes from both these guys. Eubank on Conor Benn. He walks the same path as I have. I know his struggles living in the shadows and trying to break out of the shadows and make his own name. If he can beat me, his name will be made and he will never walk in his father's shadow again. Conor Benn, to me, this fight is personal. It's more than a title. There's no title on the line. And rankings. This is unfinished business between our families. All I know is that from my side, this will be an all-out war. Last man standing. Neither will give up until the last bell rings. So, I done a live stream there. And one of the guests on said that this is similar to the Triple G Kell Brook situation. He sees it as a bit of a cash out for Eddie Hearn. Now, I agree with certain parts of that and I disagree with other parts. The part that I take issue with, except with Kell Brook, Brook called for Triple G. You know, if you look at the fight he had against Bizier, I think his name was, he mentioned Triple G in the post-fight. That was in March 2016. So he was willing to take it. No one forced him. He could have had that unification with Jesse Vargas. It's not like there was no other options. There was. So Kell Brook has to shoulder the blame every bit as much as Eddie Hearn does. You know, I always get annoyed people say, oh, Eddie Hearn did it. Kell Brook has to shoulder that blame too. No one put a gun to his head and said he has to do it. However, with this one, it's a bit more kind of... I'm kind of stumped, you know, because it's like Conor Benn is going from the Avanesians, not the Avanesians, he's not fighting the Avanesians, but he's going from the Algeries, the Van Herdens, the former champions who'd seen better days, much better days, to go 2 weight divisions, and he's not a big welterweight like Kell Brook was, to fight Eubank, who has no title. You know, Kell Brook fought the unified middleweight champion. Eubank has nothing at that division. So for me, it's a bit of a head scratcher. And you can safely say the only thing you can see from that fight is just money. It's just money for both guys. Because you're gaining absolutely nothing from it. You know, there's no world title. If there's a title, it's a little trinket title. So there's nothing really of value there. Other than a big money day. So you get that for Conor Benn. For Eubank Jr., I mean, if he doesn't beat the living crap out of Conor Benn, and I don't say that wishing he beats the living crap out of Conor Benn, but I say that in a sense of it's already going to look bad on him bringing a guy up 2 weight divisions who's small in his own weight, and maybe going the distance with him, not hurting or dropping him. That's going to look pretty bad. I can't believe this fight is happening. Like, I don't want to spill the beans or anything, but I did kind of know in advance this fight was happening. I I knew a few weeks ago. But it's still, like, when you see it announced, you kind of just are like, yeah, it's happening, but, like, damn. You know, you still kind of struggle to see, like, why is it happening other than money? And I guess for Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn, you know, I've said this before, I'll say it again. You look at the welterweight division, it's a tough division. It's always a tough division. Always a tough division. Always has good fighters. So you look at some of the guys like Stanionis, Boots Ennis, you know, Ortiz, Avanesian. These aren't even champions. But would you pick Conor Benn over them guys? I mean, the only one I'd look at and say possibly would be Avanesian, you know. So, and you look at welter, you look at 140 pounds. You know, Ramirez coming up. You know, you could have Prograis coming up. Well, he's probably going to fight for a world title, but Zepeda, people like that, Taylor. It doesn't get any easier. You know, Teofimo Lopez, I'm sure, will eventually end up at 147 pounds. So it's never going to be a division where it's going to be easy running. You know, you have to... Welterweight is one of the divisions. Because if you think about it like this, it's very seldom you get a weak champion at welterweight. And I don't mean loads, I mean one weak champion, because the cream tend to rise to the crop at welterweight. So maybe Eddie Hearn is looking at the welterweight division and thinking, do you know what? We can't keep putting him in with former champions who've seen better days. We have to step it up. But if we step it up, there's a big risk he's going to lose. Whereas if we put him in with Eubank Jr., probably will lose, but we'll make a lot of money. And we can always turn around and say, here, look, he went up 2 weight divisions. It's not his natural weight. And that's a perfectly logical excuse. Rational excuse as well. So I can see it from Eddie Hearn's point of view. For Eubank, it's just like, is it all about money now at this stage for Eubank? Because, like, you know, Demetrius Andre, you could push for that fight if he sticks around at 160. You have Jalabek, who is there, and, you know, you could fight him. Billy Joe Saunders is talking about coming back. You never know. Would you not maybe take a fight in between and wait and see? Liam Smith's just signed with Sky. There you go. There's a fight at 160. Wait for Billy Joe. For me, it seemed like Eubank had more options, but he's looking at this and thinking, I will leave with the bag. Thank you very much. So we have it. We'll see what happens. It's interesting. It's a really, really, really interesting one. And yeah, I'm interested to know your thoughts in the comment section. Can we assume that Barry McGuigan will be commentating on this fight? When I can't do Eubank. I could at one stage. This man, when I beat Nigel Benn, Barry McGuigan was commentating. Christopher, my son. Can't do Eubank too well. Poor attempt, but ayo. Can't blame a guy for trying. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, people. I will talk to you. We will see you tomorrow for Midweek Report. Until then, people, peace.